What's up, ladies and gentlemen? We got a little show to talk about. We got the Niners and Cowboys tomorrow, and what better way to kick it off than with my boy Guru? What's up, man? Say what's up to the Niner fans.
What's up, baby? Man, you see, I got my jersey on, you repping red and gold, but this just brings back so much nostalgia, man. I mean, I remember the 90s. Whoever won the NFC championship game between these two teams was going to win the Super Bowl. Never fail. But I'm juiced. I just hate, and I'm a real fan. I ain't no Harry high school dude. Oh, I want my team to win, and I'm blinded. I just really think the Niners got the better team, and what's crazy is they got the most unproven quarterback, and I'm still saying that as a diehard Cowboy fan. Kyle Shanahan's smarter than McCarthy. So, I'm hoping like Bob. I just don't see it, man.
Oh man, I 100% agree with you on that. The rivalry growing up was absolutely amazing. I'm gonna hit the intro and we'll get right into it, my man. Yeah, man, I agree. This was a huge rivalry growing up, man. I remember when I was younger, you were either a Niners fan or a Dallas fan. And you're right. Back in the day, whoever won that matchup in the playoffs made it to the Super Bowl for the most part. I
No
mean, and
doubt.
it was a crazy rivalry. So going into this game, you said it, Dak, he's kind of been unproven this year. He leads the NFL in interceptions. Last week he went crazy, and everybody's expecting him to come out and relive that performance. And if the Niners can get pressure to him, I think they're going to force him to turn over, get a turnovers and make some picks. And you got Nick Bosa, you got Micah Parsons on the other side of the ball for the Cowboys. I think it's going to come down to the turnovers. Who can run the ball? It's playoff football. And if they can force Dak to throw those interceptions, man, it can be really ugly. I expect Dallas to play a tough game, though. They got a chip on their shoulder. Last year, we walked into AT&T Stadium, and we beat the number one offense last year on the road, man. So I think you guys are definitely kind of looking for revenge. Dak said it. He says he circled this game on the calendar. Parsons said it. He goes, he was waiting for this game. So I don't know, man. What do you think? What do you think about Dak, man? You
Man,
said
I'm gonna say this. Danny White is crazy. Is my all-time favorite quarterback. Never won a Super Bowl with Dallas. We got Staubach, Aikman, close second. But I was a kid more so when Danny White was a quarterback. But he did the punting duties, so I just gravitate to him. With that said, man, I'm just not a Dak fan. And up until last Monday night, Dallas wasn't playing Tampa. Dallas was playing Dallas. It was a mental hurdle. It was the stage. Monday Night Football. Can you win, Dak? 6, 7 years in the league, we got one playoff win to show for it. And I remember 3 years back, it was Philadelphia in Philly, the last game of the season, NFC East on the line. Dak had arguably one of his worst games. So with that said, there was some, I believe, mental relief last Monday, but I'm just not buying what they did last Monday is going to resonate tomorrow at 3:30 at Levi's. And the reason I'm saying that is you mentioned last year, Dallas had Randy Gregory, a beast. Didn't have the greatest season this year in Denver. We had Amari Cooper. I feel like Dak ran him off. He had he had the power and cachet to keep Amari in Dallas. So we're weakened. I don't think we're better than we were last year. And you guys got off to a 23-7 lead. It should have been worse. But Jimmy Garoppolo, the statue, no shade at Jimmy, single-handedly allowed Dallas to come back. And Dak had 3 timeouts, down 6, at home to kind of, show me, Dak. And he blew and hurt my heart. I haven't forgot. So again, this is another opportunity. I see John chimed in. This is another opportunity tomorrow to build something, but how when we got a makeshift offensive line, we got CeeDee Lamb, who I love, But this is the one thing I'm going to bed with, and I've done it the last week. TMI. How did Stidham do what he did in Vegas against this Niner defense? Is it you just chip Bosa, Armstead, not an all-pro, Ebukam, you got some other guys, but why did the Raiders do what they did to the Niners and take them to overtime? I
You know,
know there's a leaky secondary with your two dudes, Ward and Lenore, and maybe if they can both have quote-unquote pedestrian days, maybe we eat hitting Dalton Schultz. Maybe Dak eats throwing to CeeDee Lamb. And I'll wrap it up with this. Seattle, nobody gave them a chance. And for whatever reason, Raj, they had the lead at half. Walker was running the ball. So I envisioned thunder and lightning with Zeke and Pollard. If we can duplicate that and Micah Parsons, I got to tell you, I'm all over. I'm not hating on Purdy. The script is ready. But Raj, I see him rolling out like it's high school, getting away with it, going to the opposite. Like, you're going down the wrong street, youngster. But he's getting away with it, throwing it out of bounds. I'm just wondering, can Dan Quinn design some type of defensive scheme? Parsons, that's his dream when the quarterback tries to roll out the pocket. Can him and DeMarcus Lawrence contain him and make his height an issue? That's what I'm lighting candles with, thinking, Raj, maybe you might be right. Maybe we do have a chance.
maybe they do, but let me tell you, this is the big question. And like you said, Dak inconsistent last year. Exactly what you said. He broke your heart. He almost broke my heart because Jimmy was there, throws the pick. You guys ran the ball down, and I was at the game, and I was like,
oh, no.
Bro, I was stressed, not even going to lie to you. I was sitting there like, holy shit, y'all was coming back.
Right, let's go.
And I was like, if he throws this up to CD, they're going to catch, because you guys had all the momentum, and I'm like, oh, my God. Right after Debo has that big touchdown where he tells Kyle, I'm going to put the ball in the box, give me the ball. We had all the momentum, and we almost sold that game, bro. It was like we escaped it. Like, I couldn't celebrate that much because I was like, bro, we just barely escaped. I was like, oh, my God. But this is the difference this year. Christian McCaffrey, my man. He wasn't on the team last year. Now we got Debo. We got Ayuk. We got Kittle. We got all these weapons. And I know everybody's been giving the Niners defense a lot of, riffraff the last couple of weeks. Yeah, Stidham, he played good. They chipped Bosa. They were running the ball with Stidham. They were running the ball with Josh Jacobs up the gut. We couldn't stop Jacobs. And Stidham was running. Like, the mobility of a quarterback kills this team, man, all the time.
Wow.
And Jerry Jones said it a couple weeks ago, or this week. He goes, I expect Dak's mobility to be the Achilles. If Dak can run and they got Pollard coming, they will give us fits, because that's something, I don't know why we can't figure that out. But the difference this week, CMC, Nick Bosa, I can't see him going back-to-back games without getting a sack. I think he's going to eat, man. And like you said, your O-line is kind of patchwork. You're out with Peters is out. You got a rookie tackle who's given up 7 sacks. He had 13 holds this year. As Nick Bosa is going to feast on that boy. So if they can get to Prescott, it's going to force him to throw turnovers. And a big matchup is going to be our secondary with Mooney Ward and CeeDee Lamb. That, to me, is a money matchup. But last year, Trayvon Diggs was getting cooked by Brandon Ayuk, and Jimmy couldn't hit him for his life.
I remember the play right now. Ayuk, who can run routes with the best of them. Jimmy just overthrew it like it was Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. Like, dude, that game, Jimmy single-handedly tried to give it to us, man.
Bro, he literally did, but that's the difference. Brock Purdy has been calm. He's been cool, collected. Can he continue with the rookie, man? It's crazy to see what this guy's been doing. 6 games, undefeated, number 1 in passer rate. Like, all the stats are there. It's crazy. Mr. Irrelevant. Now he's Mr. Relevant. The crazy thing is he's playing with a chip on his shoulder. Nobody expected him to be here. 3rd quarterback on the roster, and now he might be the best quarterback on the roster. But you're right. This is the best defense he's got to face. Parsons loves it when people are going to, run around, and his mobility, that might play into Parsons. But I feel like Trent Williams, George Kittle, they're going to come out and do exactly what teams try to do to Bosa and chip out Parsons. So the one thing I worry about for your Cowboys is if you're playing too aggressive, because they're coming in hot with the revenge on their mind. He might be over pursuing angles. And last year he was talking. He says, we're bullies. I'm from PA. Where'd the bullies play? And he was just getting pushed around with Debo, got the little stiff arm on him.
He wasn't a factor at all.
No. So he wants to come with some heat this week, because last year they got him out. Whatever they did to get him out, they got to do the same thing again, because he's he's licking his chops, man. He wants to come out and make a big factor for this game. So
No doubt.
that's
And you know what? I was talking to my dad this morning, man. This is the bottom line to me. Raj, how many times have you seen power beat finesse in sports? Not many times. Kittle's trying to run through you. Debo's trying to run through you. Trent Williams will truck you. Dallas is finesse. I love Parsons, but you're barking a little too much because you tired at the end of the year, and it's not your fault. You're not built like Strahan or Bosa. You're going up against like Draymond Green, going up against bigger dudes. And Raj, that the wear and tear is why we didn't see sacks at the end of the year. The wear and tear is why Bosa's going to get Defensive Player of the Year, and that's no shade. But you are right, dude. I fixate. And one of my hobbies, could tell me I need a life, is going to bed at night in the lab watching the old games. I've watched that Niner Cowboy game just last year 100 times. Dude, they had somebody on like the blob on Micah Parsons. So I'm wondering, okay, if you and I know that, Raj, does Dan Quinn know it? Will they try to adjust? But if you're telling me Brock Purdy's got a Cinderella, he's got to return the glass slippers, this defense is fast enough. This is the type of defense I think can expose that. So this is, another thing. You guys have ran the ball for 150 yards 10 straight games. Let me tell you a little dirty secret about the Cowboys defense. That we've got had by the run. So it ain't like we're your defense. That ain't happening. It happens. So all those things that I mentioned scare me. You guys are power. We're finesse. And not too many times in sports does a finesse team outdo a power.
Yeah, most of the time they don't. And that's the one thing with the Niners I noticed, because there's times where in the first half of the game, I'm like, it's a little close. Like that Seattle game. It was a little close.
They were losing.
I know. Although your mic, I think your mic clipped off. I think your mic clipped off. I don't know what happened. We lost you. We lost the audio. I was going to say about how Seattle, but I got a point to make. I'm going to wait for the volume to come back.
Sorry about that.
No doubt. No problem. I was like, I know you had something to say. But so I know we were losing to Seattle, but this is the Niners. Like a lot of the times in the first half, they kind of build their team. I feel like, Kyle Shanahan's building it's a chess game for him. So he's slow. Second half adjustments has been the big key for the Niners. They've been tearing teams up in the second half, shutting teams out. And I know they've had some tough times at points, the last few weeks, but they make the big plays when they need it most. Like opportunistic, couple goal line stands, interception, the strip sack last week, Omenahu. Like there's been big plays where you're like, man, they just are when they need a big play, they get it. And in the years past, like 2019 in our Super Bowl run, the defense carried us. Defense all the time. But now we got an offense that's putting up 33 points. And again, CMC, the run game, and like you said, susceptible against the run. The Niners are so powerful. In 4 quarters, it's hard to go toe-to-toe because they just wear you down. Ooh. And now CMC, they got Mitchell, they got Debo. They got guys that are just so physically strong.
Jennings, you need a 3rd and 12? Yeah. I'm right here.
Yeah. As the game goes on, they get stronger, and the other teams are like hands on the hips. They're like, you could tell they're gassed. So that's the Niners. If you can, it's hard to outlast them, but you got to make them make turnovers. You got to force them to make mistakes. That's the only way, because then Shanahan starts getting out of his comfort zone. He takes the foot off the gas, and that's it. If Kyle Shanahan takes the foot off the gas, we might be in trouble. He has to stay aggressive. Last week, though, they were up 38-17, still trying to go for touchdowns. So he's turned the corner. But again, if they make turnovers, and this is Brock Purdy's biggest game of his entire career, will the pressure get to him? That's what everybody wants to know. So far, the man's been poised. I don't know, man. I feel like Purdy, the story is just too amazing not to keep it rolling. The fans, Levi Stadium, you guys have to travel for the 5th time now. The road traveling takes a toll on you, man. So that could be the X factor right there, the traveling. And again, CMC, man, this guy, I can't talk about this guy enough. It's like he wants to prove everybody that he's the best in the business. And, you got your boy Skip Bayless out there talking mess, man.
Oh, Skip. Dude, I'm gonna say this about Skip. I record him on my DVR every day. I got receipts, man. Raj, this is what bothers me about the internet. I
Yeah.
have receipts where he said he's not a Dallas diehard fan.
What?
So, you can Google it when we get off. Google it. So people have receipts, and he don't respond to anybody. They send it to him, and I'm like, dude, this is all a shtick. You ain't no real one. You don't wear the star, but I get what he's doing, and now he's mastered the facade of being a fan, but he ain't like me. He ain't crying and all that stuff. But you said something about McCaffrey. Raj, I forgot how good he was because he was in, just a toxic situation in Carolina, like so many NBA stars. They can ball, but the team ain't going to the playoffs. No winning, you forget. But I feel bad for Jimmy. Who am I to feel bad for anybody? But I feel bad for Jimmy, and I feel bad for Trey in this sense. McCaffrey has opened up everything, even for Kyle. And Jimmy looked different the brief stint that he had with McCaffrey. Oh, I can go Montana to Roger Craig or Ricky Waters in the flat. So I feel bad for them. And for Brock Purdy, the one thing he's doing, man, I don't care where he was drafted, he's looking downfield. He's trying to fit that ball in the tight windows, and his elusiveness. Jimmy was a statue. I watched Seattle. I watched the Dolphins. I was like, oh, Jimmy would have been sacked 3 or 4 times. So I can't take anything away from the young kid, but I'm telling you, man, Raj, I'm going to have trouble sleeping thinking about it's there. If Dallas brings his A game, and you mentioned Kyle, I got to give this to you real quick. I'm on record as saying he's a genius in regard to play design. It ain't just his last name. But what he did, I got a phrase called lemon booty, and that's when it's tight leverage situations, you cower, you nut up. The Super Bowl, you guys dominated Mahomes. And I've never heard another defensive player, the Honey Badger, say what I'm about to lay on to you and the listeners. I wanted to give the Niners a gift basket every time they drop back to pass because we could not stop them. And when you're a genius and you got so much stuff going through your head, Kyle, why were you allowing Chris Jones to wreck that game? Then last year, you're up 10 in the NFC Championship game. Jimmy hits Kittle. And I know Tart dropped a pick, but my point is you got to close that out, Kyle. I put that at your doorstep. So will we see that tomorrow if it's a close game? I'm watching his situational play calling, Raj. As great as he is.
No, 100%, man. And that has always been the X factor with Kyle. Like, he's been up. Like, we know 28-3. Yo, that's all you got to say. He had the game in his hands, and he just always finds a way to take the foot off the gas. But I've seen a different script this year. He's been in his bag, and his play calling has been absolutely amazing. And you're right. He's such a phenomenal play caller, offensive designer. Like, he just knows how to make it. But for whatever reason, he kind of goes away from that script. And I think a lot of it has to do with trusting his quarterback. And you're right. Jimmy, the statue, no disrespect to Jimmy because class act. He's helped this team do a lot. When he came in 2017, garbage roster, they won 5 in a row. Changed it was amazing. Like, I get it. No hate. But look, Brock Purdy, man, this guy has been the truth, man. Like, he's extending plays. He's unlocked George Kittle. Or George Kittle all of a sudden is George Kittle again in the red zone. Bro, we don't have to kick field goals anymore because he's like, yo, I got George Kittle mismatched tight end on a line for a safety.
Raj, you on fire.
Bro, I was like, every time
I asked for him, they were like, oh, he's a great blocking tight end. You know what? That's great, but I don't want my tight end to be known for blocking. No shade at Jimmy, but I'm like, okay, Kelsey, I know you got hands, but Kittle does too. All of a sudden, your boy's in the end zone left and right. I'm happy for him. Good call.
I'm happy. Bro, you don't know how happy because I'm defending my boy Kittle. They're like, well, he always has to block. I'm like, they just got to throw it to him. Now, Brock Purdy, he sees him. He knows he's a third read. He moves a little bit. And he's like, I got Kittle on a mismatch, fucking touchdown, like all day, bro. And you're right about CMC. He makes everybody's job easier because he's so comfortable. You give it to him on a screen pass, slant pass. He's going to take that little play and break it for 60, 40, 50. Like, he made Jimmy Garoppolo look way better because he was comfortable to him. And it's that check down, man. He's the king of the check down, and he knew it was like bread, butter. Like, you're right, Roger Craig type style. Like, oh, my God, I could get it to him. And he's just going to take the ball down and move the chain. Like Debo last year. You put the ball in his hand, a slant play, little screen play, boom, he's going to take it 80 yards. They know it. That's the Niners offense. But now you have everything cooking. You can throw it deep, tight window. Like you said, last
Everything.
week. Last week, Jennings caught this tight window pass. I was like, I haven't seen that in years, bro. Since I was like in middle school. I'm not even going to lie to you.
Now, let me ask you this about another thing. Your O-line. I can remember the Saints game. I can remember the Raider game. Outside of Trent, because Trent 99 on Matt and Trent Williams.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, McGlinchey and they can get overpowered. They can, you know what I mean? They can have an okay or below average game. And I'm just thinking about Dan Quinn, who was on the staff with Kyle when they blew that lead in the Super Bowl. I'm just like, man, I'm older than you. I remember an episode in the Brady Bunch where the vase broke and the kids tried not to tell the parents and glue it back. And when they glue it back, another hole would pop up. So I'm like, Quinn, find me something, man. But is that a blitz? Can Dallas get home with 4? It's going to be so interesting to see, man.
It really is, and that's the key. To me, it's going to be the trenches because Niners O-line has to stop your pass rush because you guys have a good pass rush. I'm not going to lie to you. Parts, like you said, you're going to lose a little sleep. I might lose a little sleep tonight thinking about Parsons because
it's real. This is a stage for him, man.
Yeah, this is it. He wants to prove that he's the defensive player of the year because everybody's telling Bosa which he should be. But, I mean, Parsons, again, last year, the Niners kept him out of this game. And you know he's been thinking about that 365 days. He's been searching and training. I'm not going to lie to you, man. If Parsons comes and he comes out the corner and Brock's shooting out, he's going after him. He's going after him. So 100%, that's going to be a big matchup for us. Can we neutralize him? And I haven't even mentioned your run game. Tony Pollard, he's good. He's good. And I worry about it because they can drop the little screen passes. They use him like CMC. Screen, he can play effective pass game. Yeah, and the run game. And then you got Zeke, who he's there. He's not prime Zeke anymore, but he can
still.
But
it's thunder and lightning. People hate on Zeke. He gets those tough yards. He falls forward. But you know what I hate? And this just came up, and I was saying it before it came up. Zeke especially, and it was on display Monday night because I'm loyal, to Zeke because I know what he's done. He plays hurt. I give that guy credit for that. Now, is he worth what he's getting paid? No. Could this be his last year? Yep. But Tony Pollard, bro, he's that home run hitter, and you're right. He's our version of McCaffrey. So I'm calling for him now like, hey, Zeke, I love you, dog. But on grass, Zeke looks like he's in dress shoes out there on grass. And Monday night, he had no footing. So I wish we were in Dallas. So I'm eager to see how this plays out tomorrow. But Tony Pollard, man, if he could somehow move the chains, let the clock tick. But we got to talk about the elephant in the room. Dallas has Trayvon Diggs. I love him. He guesses. He gets burnt. But he's been an all-pro. He can get you an interception. But our left cornerback position is cornerback by committee, bro. Like, I don't even know who's starting tomorrow. Is it going to be Nashawn Wright, Bland? It's a problem. So it ain't just Debo. It's Ayuk, Kittle, Jennings. So will you guys attack that, man?
Oh, of course they're going to attack. There's no disrespect to Diggs. Like, we know he's boomer bust. He's one of those guys, he's either going to make a pick or he's going to get burned. But why are you going to throw it to him when you got patchwork secondary on the other side? So 100% they're going to attack that side, just like you guys are probably going to attack our second-year corner, Diamador Lenore, who, he's been up and down the last few weeks, but he's had a solid year. He's a second-year cornerback. There's no way you want to challenge Mooney Ward. You know for a fact you're going to go after Diamador. So both of us have one hole in that secondary.
I can't wait, yeah.
And I can't wait, man. It's going to be a
DK Metcalf quietly, and I know he's a beast, body like T.O., he was getting loose.
Yeah, he was.
And you mentioned that who made that strip sack on Geno Smith? Because
that was a Menahu.
Yeah, before that, I don't know if you remember, Metcalf had caught like a slant. I believe if he was on turf, he could have took that to the house. He slipped, and the next play later, he got that sack, your boy.
You don't even know. I was like, fuck, because I was like, he kind of coming back. That was a moment. It was.
Man.
That was the biggest play, other than the Jonathan Abram twist and Debo, because that's the last person you want to.
And it went bad ever since then, right?
I was like, what are you doing? I was I was there, and I saw that. I was like, oh, you don't mess with Debo. He's about to get in everybody started clearing. The team was hyped. Kyle Shanahan walks out. I was like, oh, you done pissed off the Niners. That's the bad move. And then the strip that came, and that was, to me, the biggest play. But, again, if they didn't get that, because Seattle was rolling, man. So, it's what I was saying. It's those big opportunistic plays, the Niners defense, and that's what they do in the second half. They find those opportunities and they make them. If they can do that tomorrow, it's going to be a blowout in the second half. But I think it's going to be close because I just feel like Niners are going to be a little, I don't know. I just feel it's going to be close. This is going to be a close game, man.
Yeah. Well, you know what? You're, and I hear the Sandman telling me, Guru, take that snowboat on the comments, telling me to take off my jersey, but I'm not. But I'm gonna say this: I always think about Dallas's defense, and what type of defense in a perfect world would I want? Okay, you don't get turnovers, we stop you, or okay, you give up a little, but we got that flair and we turn you over. Dallas led the league in turnovers last year, and this year they're top 2. So I'm just thinking you got Purdy. It's like the other dominoes got to fall on him. Early in that game, and he's a rookie, the balls were high, couple throws. I was like, okay, but if Dallas can have that trait on display and get like 2 turnovers, I think that goes a long way in regard to this being a close game, man.
Yeah, I think Ruben says he made a good comment. He goes, close game. There's a reason the NFL put these games on Saturday. You know the NFL is hoping this close game because today's product was just, I was falling asleep on.
Yeah, no doubt, man.
Blowout.
Especially that, and that the one that I thought was going to be the closest. Like we're we diehards, but give me some drama.
I'm telling you, I wanted a little juice, at least kind of come back a little.
Yeah.
Bro, what is this? I was
like
ready
the
to go.
College Michigan and blowouts and stuff. Oh, that was like
Man, it's crazy. But, there's a few things I want to talk. So the last time Dallas came to Levi's, this was like 2017 when the Niners were back.
I was there. Dez got a touchdown.
I was at that game. Bro, Zeke Elliott was cooking us. So that's the last time.
I remember.
That was old school. And our team was bad. We had Carlos Hyde, like the marquee matchup. They were hyping it up. Carlos Hyde, Zeke Elliott, the Ohio State running backs. Bro, our team's way different from that.
Was
team.
Kyle the coach then?
Yeah, that was his first.
Okay, yeah, all right. Y'all was in transition then. Yeah.
Bro, I was sick after that game. I walked home, head in my hands. Dallas fans was, ooh, Niners.
That's great.
Like, oh, man.
Hey, speaking of which, I'm going to be in the house tomorrow. You guys, we're story franchises. Dallas, Pittsburgh, Green Bay. We know y'all travel because y'all invaded Dallas. How much, I was talking to my buddy about this, you think you're going to at least see a lot of blue and white tomorrow at Levi's?
You know what? I think you guys travel well. From the last time I was looking at the numbers, they said it was about 17 to 20% Dallas. So that's pretty good.
That was what I heard, too.
That's pretty good, actually. Yeah. And you guys travel well. I'm not going to lie to you. I mean, both of our fan bases travel well. But those tickets, I think the Niners purposely made those tickets high. So they're
okay. All right.
Fans. But I think there's going to be about 20% at most. So there should be enough blue in that stadium. Hopefully they leave a little sad, but we'll see.
You like the 3:30 start, or would you prefer 1?
I like the later start, man. I like a later start. I don't like those early games. Right now, I kind of just want to get it over with. But as the day, you wake up, you get your phone.
Watch a game if you want. Yeah.
Tailgate a little bit and get to the game. So I like to have that later. And we're prime time, so it's the whole world's going to be watching us, man.
And we get the doubleheader. My boy Bonte told me this. I heard him say it, but it was real. We get the doubleheader of a day game, dusk, and then after halftime, it'll be dark.
Yeah.
Straight up night game.
Oh, Bonte's right on that one. Man, I know you're in the radio. I wanted to ask you this. I've been, because you heard it. Those radio guys in Dallas, when you heard the
the Sean and RJ. I heard them
about CMC. They hope he gets a hamstring. Come on, man. That's silly to me. What now,
I'm a defend dude because when I saw it on Twitter, I go, oh man.
Yeah.
But now I'm gonna just say this, and I ain't defending them because I listened to that station, 103.5 Dallas Defender.
Yeah.
The way he said it, if you hear the whole conversation, that was the subject matter. We need him to get hurt. That injuries was the topic around the playoffs. And then he was like, oh, if he hurt, but it is what it is. But it got blown up worse than it if you heard it naturally. That's how I took it.
Yeah, the media is going to put it up.
Play it up. Yeah, no doubt.
Boy, the Niner fans we are so mad about when I heard that clip, I was like, oh,
dude, that's amazing because it did blow up. And dude was defending himself like, I didn't mean it. Yeah.
Bro, he went straight. He's like, I didn't mean it like that, man. He was like, he's healthy this year. He's doing good. He went quick with it. I was like, come on.
Wait, man.
Yeah,
I'm watching the 92 one. I got it on the TV on pause.
bro. I watched so
I was at that game at the Stick, man. So
Man,
many.
that's good stuff, man. Yeah, my best memory back in the day, '94, that NFC Championship game when we finally got the monkey off the
And
back.
they didn't call the flag on Dion on Irvin, man. Come on.
I know, Cowboy fans
Raj. You
to
know
this
that was
day,
pass
to this
interference.
day, they sick to me. I was talking to Eric Davis, man, because he goes on live with me a lot, and he was like,
I
he's
like ED.
he goes, they still come up to me and say that was a PI. He goes, you know what? He says, I just show him my Super Bowl ring.
There it is. ED's a cool
He's
dude, man.
cool, man.
He was good too.
Yeah, he was good,
Niners
bro.
had a good Merton Hanks. Niners had all Eric Wright, old school. They always had some Ronnie Lott. They always had some dogs back there.
Yeah,
But
they
you're
had
right.
good.
Lenore and Ward right now. I'm just saying, if Dak can bring his A game, and he likes to throw to the tight end and the play action pass. And you're right, he did use his legs, but I don't look at Dak like Mahomes because
Mm,
he hadn't been running, he got hurt. But it
yeah.
was on full display, and Jerry Jones was like, "Yeah, I had a talk with Dak," and he said, "I didn't tell him to run more." Jerry said, "I just told him to be more aggressive, which is run more." But if he
Mm.
can use those legs, you're right. You lost to Fields, Russell Wilson. Who else? Another dual quarterback you lost to. Uh, I, I,
Mahomes,
oh, Mahomes, yeah, and that was ugly.
that was
So yeah,
bad, man.
we'll
But our
see,
whole,
man.
I'm not even gonna count that game. I don't want to bring that one up. Chiefs pissed me off. But
Andy
yeah,
Reid,
we do lose to those mobile court, and Stidham almost had us, man. So
dude.
if he can get mobile and kind of run out of the pocket, man, he might give us trouble. But I feel like this game, you got Fred Warner and Dre Green, bro. Those two guys, they're not gonna want to. I just feel like we have too many guys that have come so close. They're so hungry, and they're veterans. That's the big
Okay,
thing that I keep saying. The Niners, they've been with this Kyle Shanahan, regime. 3 Super Bowl appearance, or not Super Bowl, 3 playoff appearance now. Third season in the playoffs with him, and they've gotten so close. Like 2019, they blew the Super Bowl, and then last year they were so close. They lost to the Rams, and now I think these guys know what it takes. They're like, okay, one game at a time, and they're hungry. You got Bosa, Warner, Greenlaw, Debo, Kittle, Trent Williams. All these guys have been close. They want to finish the job. Jimmy Ward, they got some veterans on this team. Tashawn Gibson, like these guys
yeah,
are hungry, man. That's a big factor for me right there.
yeah. And I had a conversation, a debate a couple years back, and it was before Andy Reid had won his first ring with Mahomes. And I don't know if you remember Andy with McNabb, but he had
Mm,
4 visits to the NFC
yeah,
Championship, could get over the hump. And I hated on his genius. I didn't see it. And now he's gotten that ring, and I've come back like, dude, you are the GOAT.
yeah,
And you are using McKinnon like McCaffrey now. All of a sudden, he's got 8. Well, he's staying healthy.
yeah.
That isn't that funny? So Kyle did nothing wrong with McKinnon. The Niners didn't. You just weren't healthy. But
He just
my
wasn't
point is, Kyle needs to add that to, and it could come 5 years down the road. But I'm with you, bro. We understand you're genius. You've been close, and those 2 times he's blown a 10-point lead. Like
mm,
if anybody's got to beat us, Kyle, you got to get it done. But what's funny, Raj, is we're talking about this rich history, and I brought up in the '90s, whoever won, you could put your money on the Super Bowl. Quad be kept. Philly's waiting. So whoever does win this, if it's a battle, we still got to go on the road. Niners or Dallas to Philly, and it's kind of lightweight bothering me. I shouldn't even be thinking about it. But normally a game of this magnitude, my nerves, I don't play. But I'm like, this would be the ticket to get you to the Super Bowl, but it ain't, bro.
no, it's not. Because I was thinking that someone they on one of my posts they commented, they were like, "This is my Super Bowl." I was like, if this is your Super Bowl, then count the rest of the season over, because this is not even the NFC Championship. Like, as good as this game might be, there's still another opponent waiting, and they look
Yeah.
today, man, and they did look like the #1 seed. And all week we talked about this off air. Both of us said the same thing all week. I was like, I don't know. They kind of look like they're falling apart. Jalen Hurts' shoulder looks like a liability. I think they were gassing that injury up. I think they honestly,
You know what? You might be right. That's a
they were
good point.
gassing it. They were gassing that injury. They were making people think, oh, Jalen's not going to be the same. And they came out with a vengeance tonight. I was like, wow, they look good tonight. They
Yeah.
look good. Yeah. Yeah.
So
That's
we'll
it.
see, man. Hey, you got to have me back so we can chop up the fallout, how it all went down.
Oh, 100%, my boy. I got you now. Now you can definitely hop on whenever, man, or whenever you want me. Just let me know.
Okay,
We
so I got
definitely,
your number. Hey, give me this. Tell us this. So you wake up tomorrow. What time do you leave out? Who you going with? How does tomorrow go for you? Do you drink before the game? Do you not drink? Like, what do you do to get right?
It just depends on the day and who I'm going with. Tomorrow, I'm going down. I decide I'm going. So I'm going to head up, the green lot, pole 20.
I know where you at.
Yeah, I'm usually with my boy 49ers Tailgate. I'm with Ken, and they got Gold Bar Whiskey, Residency. Residency's my boys. I got them on the wall up
I
here.
love it.
Yeah,
Go ahead, baby.
Yeah, we having up with them. Where are you going to be, man, my boy?
Now, don't laugh. You know, the tickets were a lot. I had a couple Cowboy fans that wanted me to be in the fray, but money kind of tight, so I'm gonna be in the media section. So I won't even be able to have on my gear, but I'll be an undercover.
You
But
have
I'm
to
gonna
wear
be
the Dallas
watching it
shirt.
like God.
Wear the Dallas shirt underneath your
There
clothes,
you go.
bro.
Hey, I hadn't even thought of that. You right,
Bro, that's what I
keep
do.
my
If I can't
jacket
wear
on.
my stuff, I'm like, on the undershirt, I'll just wear the Niner. And then after the game, I'm like, yeah, you know that.
Let me ask you this real quick. Do you are you like me? Do you go to the games and tape them so
You
you
know
can
what?
kind of see what the announcers are? Because that's what I do. I like to hear what the announcers saying.
So what I do is I rewatch them when I come home. I got the NFL Network, so I could just replay
Oh,
it,
okay.
or
All
the
right. Okay,
NFL app, and I
gotcha.
rewatch it. I'll watch the film the next day too. But I do rewatch the game because I do like to hear what the commentators say. Because people will be like, "Oh, did you hear what the commentators say?" I'm like, "No, I was at the game. I didn't hear it." So then I want to kind of hear.
All right, that's dope. I got
You
you.
get a different perspective, 100%. Yeah. So I always
Give me
watch it on the
honestly, and
NFL
I
app.
know you ain't going super fandom. I'll give you mine. I'm being so real. I think it's Niners 34, Dallas 20.
Okay, 34-20.
Yeah, 34-20,
Wow.
man. I
Okay.
just don't think we can stop y'all, man.
Okay, that's respectful. You're probably the most respectful Cowboys fan I know, but I think it's gonna be a little closer. I said my score yesterday that I dropped was 33. I said 24, but today I woke up. I said 33-27. I changed it a bit. I think it's gonna be a little closer than people expect, man. And especially after today, I think it's gonna be a close game.
I keep talking mess. I keep talking mess, but you're right. That last game went down to the last drive just last year. Even though it started and it looked ugly, the end result is what you're talking. It was a close game.
Yeah, I
So we'll
keep thinking
see,
it's
man.
gonna be close.
Yeah.
I keep thinking. I just keep having these visions that it's gonna be close, and I'm gonna be like, "Damn, we escaped." It's gonna be a battle, man. This is a battle. Two storied rivalries. You know the vibes with it. And whoever loses is gonna be pissed off, man. That's it. It's gonna
I
be
can't wait.
a blood match. But yeah, 100%, man. I appreciate you so much.
All day, baby. You know where to find me, and I'll reach out to you.
Yeah, anytime, man. Anytime. Let me know. You got my number,
Okay.
and
I
we'll
got
chop
you
it up
locked
again.
in.
Yes, sir. Good luck
All
tomorrow.
right. Hey, good luck to you, family.
Yes, sir.
Late.
All right. Shout out to my boy Guru. Hope you guys enjoyed that. This is a little preview tomorrow. I'm excited. I can't wait. Niners, Cowboys. Let's get it. I hope you guys enjoy the game tomorrow. Appreciate you guys for hopping on. It's my boy Guru from 957 The Game. If you don't know, now you know. Check him out. Good stuff, man. I'm hyped up. Niners, Cowboys. Let's go. Let's get it, baby. Anyways, have a good rest of your night. And let's get this dub, man. We need this dub because I do not want to be on here tomorrow upset and mad. And you know the vibes, but let's go. Niners get this dub tomorrow, 33-27. I love you guys and have a great, great, great night. Let's go, Niners.